Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Empowered Volleyball Club here on the north side of Fort Wayne. We are ready for signing day here at Empowered. I'm joined by Josh, the head coach at University of Northwest Ohio, and our third tag team partner here tonight, once again, the head coach at Huntington University, Kelsey Herbert, and we're going to give it to you. And you're all ready to go. She was so ready to go. She took over. I knew it was going to happen, Josh.
That's always Kelsey. Kelsey's always ready for everything and always ahead of schedule.
So she's going to have her first young lady over there, and that is Destiny Bradfield, correct, from Northrop High School. And she's going to head off next year and go to St. Louis College and study pharmacy.
Yes, and
wow.
I apologize that I tried to steal the show from you. But yes, we are here with Destiny, and we would love to hear a little bit about what led you to choose the college that you're going to attend. What was it that drew you in?
Something that really drew me in was as a medical school, and they all, as freshmen, they take similar classes, so we can all just help each other, and it's just a small school, so we all can get to know each other more.
That's awesome. And you're going to pursue pharmacy. So tell me a little bit about how you decided that that's what you wanted to do in college.
Well, for my whole life, I wanted to be a vet. And then I decided it's not really I didn't want to deal with all the icky parts of it. So, and I took chemistry as a sophomore and I really fell in love with it. So I found jobs that pursue in chemistry. And that's how I found pharmacy.
That is incredible. Well, we wish you all the best. I have to ask before we let you go, if you had to choose one memory from your experience here at Empowered that you would consider your favorite, what is it?
I would say my favorite memory is I've played with this girl named Kennedy, and she just loves dancing. So she'll dance during practice or on the sideline. And it's always when we're in a bad spot in the game, she always seems to make me laugh with her dancing.
That is excellent. And now my question is, do you dance back? Do you dance with her?
Sometimes, but not really. I just laugh.
So you're not going to bust a move for us right here, right now? Ah, bummer. Well, we, like I said, wish you all the best moving forward, and thanks for chatting with us. And enjoy this evening as you get to celebrate.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Back to you guys.
Well, Josh, that's our first young lady from Northrop High School. That is the Destiny Bradfield, a middle blocker, middle hitter, and she'll head off next year to St. Louis College to do pharmacy. No, I had a son that tried that. It's a difficult thing to go into.
Yeah, I've known Destiny since I came here. I've been here 4 years now, and she's just super bright kid. She understands the work that's going to have to be put in to be able to go into the that program, and she's gonna go do a really good job for it's the St. Louis school, and she's really gonna make some big plays and do some good things for them.
Before we go to our next young lady over there, who's Peyton Rolfson, a little background on yourself, Josh. Mm-hmm. You mentioned you've been here for 4 years at Empowered, mm-hmm. and now a head coach in college.
Yeah, I moved out here. I took kind of on a whim. Had a big-time club job outside Chicago, and a friend of mine said, "Hey, you want to come get in the college game?" It's always been a dream of mine. Got to meet Kelsey. I got to work with her for 2 years. Actually, worked for her for a year as her assistant, and then I got the opportunity to go out to Lima, Ohio, and be the head coach over there. So, but just I couldn't leave Empowered. I think it's a very special place. I think we train our kids really well. We create. It's more than just the athlete here.
Absolutely. And last year we had 21 young ladies here for this signing day. Now we have 24, so the numbers continue to grow. I texted Jeff today called him and said, well, how many we got, 12? And he said, no, 24. So we've got a lot of young ladies here this evening. And like I said, just mentioned, Kelsey is helping us tonight. Kelsey, why don't you give us a little background about yourself, and you're also a new mother.
I am a new mother. Yes, I have a 2-month-old named Ren, and he is just stolen our hearts. Let's just say that. I am loving being a little family of 3 and being a mama now.
Excellent. And you're the head coach at the Huntington University.
Yes.
And both of you guys had to play each other last year twice, so maybe might get a little chippy over here at times, maybe. I don't know.
We split last year. I think
there we go. Even Steven, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, she's still got a good group of girls and a good team. I'm excited. I'm not excited to play them next year. You guys, you got a lot of really good kids coming in. It should be a really tough match for us.
Well, I appreciate that, but Josh, I know not to underestimate your squad when you're coaching them up. I know better than that.
And now our next young lady up here who's going to Emory and Henry, that is Peyton Rolfson. Am I correct? Is it Peyton?
Yeah.
Yes,
It
I am
is.
here with Peyton. Peyton, I would love to know what led you to decide where you wanted to go to school. What was it about Emory and Henry that drew you in?
So right when I got on campus, it was already so welcoming, and I actually got to hang out with the girls before I went on my visit. So I had like a little movie night with them, and they were just so welcoming, and the academics there are absolutely amazing, and I'm really excited to major in their exercise science department. And so, yeah, it was just overall a really good feeling, and I wanted to get out of Indiana and, like, go and see other things, and it's right in the mountains, and, yeah, so I'm just excited. Yeah.
That's awesome that you knew you wanted to kind of get out of Indiana, have a new adventure, and so we're so excited for you in that. So everybody wants to just get to know you a little bit better tonight, so I have to know, what is your favorite movie?
Probably, so it's a Disney movie. It's called Saving Mr. Banks, and it's like about the like creation of like Mary Poppins and stuff, and it's such a good movie. I absolutely love it.
That's awesome. Okay, you're not going to like what I'm about to say. I have not seen the movie. However, I have heard that it's very good, so maybe I need to add it to my list. That's the moral of the story. Do you have a favorite empowered memory you can share with us?
I have like a lot of empowered memories, but I would say my favorite like all-time memory would probably be going to Arizona with my team. That was such like a good way to kind of end our season and you know, our team being together. So I don't know. I was really super excited when we qualified, just because, you know, I wanted to have like that one last memory with them and kind of go out with like a bang. So yeah.
It's always good to put that exclamation point on the end of an experience, and I know that's absolutely what you guys did, because you also played really well and had a great experience, so that's awesome. Well, we wish you the absolute best moving forward and hope you enjoy being celebrated tonight. Of course.
Hey, Kelsey.
Back to you guys.
Kelsey, I actually have a question for her. Can you hear me? Uh-oh. Can you hear me now? I actually have a question for her.
We've got a special question for you, okay?
Can you hear me, Kelsey?
Barely, but yes.
Can you ask her, did she ever consider playing beach volleyball in college? Because her game definitely translates to the beach.
Yeah, absolutely. So you want to know if she ever considered it?
Yeah.
Okay, we want to know if you ever considered playing beach volleyball in college, since we know you've had quite a bit of experience playing that here at Empowered.
Yes, I was really considering playing beach. There was a moment in time where I actually liked beach better than indoor, and I think that beach will always be like have such a special spot in my heart. I think just like with everything that happened with COVID, I think honestly it was just better for me to commit for indoor. But it was definitely a hard decision coming to just like doing only indoor, but I still love playing beach. If like I end up getting like that 5th eligibility year, I would love to possibly go and play somewhere for beach. But yeah, I've definitely thought about playing beach in college.
Well, that's awesome that you think maybe you'll play beach in your 5th year if you have that 5th year of eligibility. And of course, you can always play for fun too. Mm-hmm. Very good. Well, thank you very much for answering our bonus question.
So that was Peyton Ralston from Leo High School, played for Ashley Robbins out there. They had another good year there, and they're rebuilding their program again. They're getting better each year. We're going to see Chloe Pierce here in a little bit as well. And she also played there, a good back row player for them.
Yeah.
And it's interesting, Josh, when you see a young lady like Peyton, and we're going to meet Kristen Bovey later, you see what they do on the court, and you can see it translates to the beach. You can just notice a different jumping ability of some of these young ladies.
Yeah, you know, I think what's actually really cool is my first year here. You know, we were talking about how I've been here for 4 years now. My first year here, I had actually the bulk of this group on the team at 15s, and when I had our 15 ones team, which was the 15 red team at the time, and it was just an awesome experience to be able to train and coach these kids to kind of and kind of see where. Kind of how they developed over the last 5 or 4 years, and them being a part of a growth, here on the beach and then also in the indoor. You really see some kids really take to the beach and who just really understand, timing and shots and, just some, like you said, the jumping and the lateral quickness. And Peyton is one of those kids that the beach is always going to be a very, very strong part of her game. So.
Well, it looks like we're ready for another young lady to jump up there with Kelsey. This is Kaylee Matney. She is a setter from Carroll High School. She'll go to Cedarville, and she's going to major in nursing. And Kaylee, a pretty good athlete, Josh.
Yes.
She can go – she's not just a setter. She's a very good passer in the back row. Mm-hmm. Also an outstanding hitter and attacker for both the right and left side. For at Carroll, they had some coaching changes while she was there, and she did a very nice job of mentoring the young girls to get better.
Yeah, I know Kaylee, again, part of that group that was with me my first year. I mean, she's a fierce competitor. I mean, that's the first thing I'll say about Kaylee every time. She's a great kid, and she's a fierce competitor. I mean, she wants the ball in her hands at all times, whether that's hitting the ball, passing the ball, setting the ball. She wants to be a part of the play, and she's really stepped up these last couple of years and developed into a really strong leader. She's going to do a great job at Cedarville, and they're going to be really proud to have her, and we're really proud to send her off to Cedarville.
All right, I think we might have some technical. Do we have technical difficulties over there? Okay, I'm gonna send it to you right now.
Beautiful. Thank you
go.
for sending it to me right now. And I am here with Kaylee Matney. And Kaylee, we were just talking about this. There's something special taking place right here, right now, because you are celebrating your senior signing, but I had the absolute blessing of coaching you when you were 11 and 12 here at Empowered. Tell me what it is like for you to even wrap your mind around the fact that you started here when you were an 11-year-old and tonight is your senior night. What is going through your heart and your mind?
It's just crazy because, I've lived half of my life here. It's been a complete second home to me. And so the fact that I won't ever get to play with those girls again, or all of the coaches have become just my family and parental figures. So it's just absolutely crazy. I can't process it right now. But yeah, we've been here for so long, and I can't believe that I'm the one who's signing today. I'm the senior. So it's insane.
Yes, after all these years of being here, it's you watch these classes of girls who sign and go to play at the next level. And I'm sure it is hard to wrap your mind around the fact that that's you now. Yeah. That this is your senior night tonight. And I can just say, having had the opportunity to coach you when you were just a young girl and then just watching you continue to develop as a player and as a person, that has been such a blessing. And I just have no doubt that you're going to do an incredible job at the next level. And we just wish you all the best. And my question for you is there any advice that you would give to younger athletes who say, I want to be like Kaylee and I want to play at the next level?
Oh my gosh, there's so many things I could give out. I would say probably the biggest thing is have fun, because I would not be playing this sport if it wasn't something that I absolutely love to do. So have fun and just be a good teammate. It's so easy to get wrapped up in, oh, am I going to play? Am I not going to play? What's going to happen? But when you actually enjoy the sport that you're doing and you're being a good teammate and you're trying to form relationships with the people around you, it makes it so much more fun. And I think that's why I have so many good memories here, is because everyone came together as a family, and just be a good teammate. That'd be my biggest piece of advice.
I think that's a great piece of advice. And like I said, we wish you all the best, and we have no doubt you're going to be that great teammate at the next level too.
Thanks,
of course. Back to you guys.
Well, Josh, that was Kaylee Matney from Carroll, a young lady that'll go off to Cedarville next year, and she'll probably play multiple positions for that squad there at Cedarville, and a coach's daughter. Now, if there's one young lady that I thought would become a coach someday,
Kaylee?
It's probably Kaylee, because her mother was a heck of a coach there with her there at Carroll.
Yeah, she's, both her and her mom are both, fantastic students of the game. They like to learn. They like to be a part of, getting better and making other people better. And, Kaylee, I mean, you can tell her answer right there, was telling younger kids how to be a good teammate and how to make sure people are, making sure that they're going to be good teammates and make sure that they, know how to work hard. And that's something that I know she instills in everybody else that she's around. And, she did a really, really good job, and really excited for her career over the next 4 years.
Yeah, so congratulations to Kaylee, as she moves off to her next career in volleyball. Next up, we've got a setter from Concordia. This is Maddie Vanuk. She's going to go to Concordia Ann Arbor and major in athletic training. And she plays for one of the more intense high school coaches in the city in Fort Wayne.
Yeah, Maddie's rip roaring and ready to go. I think she's through her experience in high school and through here, she's really worked hard over the last 2 years to become a player who can make a difference at a college and through university. So she's actually going to be in my conference, so I'm going to be able to get to see her twice a year. I know. That's not something. I mean, I'm really excited for her. I'm just not excited to see her because I know that we're going to be playing some stiff competition when that happens, when we do play her the next 4 years.
All right, we're going to send it over to Kelsey right now. She's with Maddie.
Wonderful. Maddie, Josh was just talking about how you're going to be in his conference, and so he's excited for you, but he's not necessarily excited to play against you. But I think that's all a compliment at the end of the day. But we are thrilled for you and playing at the next level. Tell me a little bit about what drew you to want to play at Concordia.
I went to a Lutheran school for high school, and just having that small Christian community to be around, really to be able to grow in your faith and to be able to also play volleyball at the same time is just I got really excited. And I'm going for athletic training, and their athletic training program is one of the best. So
that is awesome. Well, tell me a little bit about what led you to want to pursue athletic training. How did you come upon that's what you wanted to do with the rest of your life?
I love sports in general, just any sports. If anything's on, I'll start watching it on the TV. And I really kind of wanted to do exercise science first and strength and conditioning. But I started shadowing my athletic trainer this year for football, and I really enjoyed just taking care of people, getting them what they needed, taping ankles, all that kind of stuff. So, and then I was like, oh my gosh, I could do this for a job. So yeah.
When you realize that you enjoy something as much as you do like sports, and then you realize there is a career that would allow you to be involved with sports, it's always a good moment to recognize that, where your passion and your skill set can overlap in a career. Well, you're obviously somebody who's worked very hard to play at the next level. What advice would you give to younger athletes who say, you know what, I want to be like Maddie, I want to play at the college level someday? What advice do you have for them?
I think just don't ever forget why you play the sport. For me, I've had a rough patch with coaches and losing your love for the sport and all that kind of stuff, just kind of having that taken away. And being able to be at a place like Empowered, I was able to find my love for the sport again, just being able to enjoy playing and having fun. It's not always all this pressure on you. You should be able to have fun and be excited while you play. So I say don't ever forget that.
I think that's beautiful advice. I think oftentimes it can be easy to forget that the reason we started playing in the first place was because we fell in love with the game. And I think if we can keep that desire to play and that love for the game our whole way through our careers, the possibilities become endless with what we can accomplish. Well, we are so thrilled for you to play at the next level and wish you the absolute best and hope you enjoy being celebrated tonight. Of course. Thanks, Maddie. Back to you guys.
Well, that was Maddie Vanuk from Concordia High School, moving on to Concordia Ann Arbor, unfortunately in your conference with you. A conference that, by the way, is getting stronger each and every year. You kind of saw in Kelsey's conference over the last few years, their size of their young ladies has gotten taller and taller, and now it's beginning now in the Wolverine Hoosier Athletic Conference.
Yeah, I think we had a couple of coaching changes over the past 4 or 5 years with some new coaches coming in. I know Coach Cook at Concordia is in will be going into her 6th year, or 6th or 7th year there. I'll be going into my 3rd season. Eric Stark will be going into his 5th up at Michigan Dearborn, and then you've got the Staples and Courtney Wilson over at Indiana Tech, and so you've got some coaches that have been there a long time. There's some shuffling around there with the coaches in from the Grand Rapids schools, and so I think it's just coaches are finally settling in and kind of rebuilding with their programs and making sure that we're just as deadly as the Crossroads League. I don't think we're as tough yet, but we're right on their tails. Yeah,
I think so too as well. We saw some of in the crossovers there early in the early season that the teams are starting now to play each other pretty consistently, and now they're sisters over there, Josh.
Oh yeah.
So this could get a little dangerous during the Q&A here, but this is Hayley Cruz. She's from Lakewood Park. She's gonna go play for her sister. We'll see how that goes. In fact, we're gonna have another one of the Cruz sisters here shortly.
We will.
Lily will be here, and then we'll have I don't know if we'll call them Mo, Curly, and Larry, but we'll have all three here tonight. But this is Hayley. She's an outside hitter. She's going to go to Huntington, and she's going to study business.
Yes. Now, what do you guys think? Should I ask her about how she's feeling about her college coach and what she's worried about moving forward? Is that a good thing to ask her?
I think so. I think that's the main question you have to ask.
Right. You know what? I might save that one for later. I'm going to save that for when we're not on a live stream. But obviously, I know I'm looking forward. Hopefully, you're looking forward to the opportunity that we have to be a part of the same program as sisters. And I was just talking to Kaylee a little bit ago about how it is so hard for me even to wrap my mind around the fact that I coached you guys when you were 11 and 12 years old here at Empowered. Now you fast forward, which feels like it was just a blink of an eye, and now it's your senior night, and we're celebrating you playing at the next level. And the fact that, you're coming to play at Huntington, for me, it just seems like such a surreal and special moment. What is going through your heart and mind tonight as you think about your time at Empowered coming to an end?
It's gone by like crazy fast, and it's insane to think about all the time that's gone by, because it's like I was so young at one point, always looking up to my 3 older sisters thinking, wow, like I'm going to be that age someday. And then I was like, now it's my time. And I'm like, oh, that's weird. Like I don't feel that old. And it's just a crazy mindset. It feels like a fever dream, but when I look back on all my times and like hard work, it really has paid off now with the sport and with school and with life. Like everything that I've worked for is like all coming together, and like we're reaching the goal. And now as we go on to college, like I'm going to set more goals and then reach more, and it's just a good time.
Absolutely. I think you're absolutely right that a lot of athletes when they're younger look at the older girls and think, oh, that might be me someday. But when you're actually sitting in this seat and it's you, it's hard to wrap your mind around sometime. If you were to say what your favorite memory has been here at Empowered, what would you say that memory is if you could only choose one?
I would say that my favorite memory is either going to nationals, because we went to Phoenix, Arizona, and I thought that setting was just pretty cool, and it was a good experience to feel like I was playing at like a higher level, and prepared me for like the feel that college will bring. I also would say that my other favorite memory is just being with my team, having team bondings, having team dinners, because it is a family atmosphere with them, and they weren't just teammates, they became family over time, and I feel like that's just been my favorite part.
And I think that's one of the best parts about Empowered is just the family atmosphere that they create. And I'm thankful that that's what you've experienced. And I'm thankful we get to continue on with the family mindset moving forward at Huntington. And, of course, we just wish you all the best moving forward and hope you enjoy being celebrated tonight.
Kelsey, I think you should ask her who her favorite coach at Empowered was, me or you. See how that one goes.
Josh wants you to say who your favorite coach has been here at Empowered, but we know this is a dangerous question because both Josh and I have coached you here at Empowered, so I think you know the right answer to this question. But then again, I'm sure you've enjoyed all of your coaches here.
Yeah, I've enjoyed all my coaches here. I mean, where we rank them might be a secret and might be a conversation off camera, but we really loved all my coaches.
Good answer. She knew how to answer that question, everybody.
I think she was trained for that one ahead of time.
Yeah, I think she was. Well, thank you very much, Hayley. Back to you guys.
All right, that was Hayley Cruz going to play for her sister over there next year, and she'll be studying business next year. And looks like we're ready for our next young lady here. And I believe that is a Bishop Dwenger player, correct?
Yes. That is correct.
That is Emma Lyons.
Yes.
That's correct. Not to be confused with her sister, but she is an outstanding player, a very good back row player. And finally we went from all these outside hitters and setters to some defense. And
finally.
And I have to say, in my 5 years now covering high school girls sports here in Northeast Indiana for volleyball, that this was probably the greatest class so far of liberos and defensive players that I have seen in the area, and this is one of them right here.
Absolutely. Emma is a fantastic defender, like you said, and and you're somebody who I'm going to see on the other side of the net in these next 4 years, and I'm not necessarily excited about that, but thrilled for you in this next phase of playing at the college level. And like they said, you're a fantastic defender. Tell me a little bit about what this evening is like for you, because you're another one who, again, I coached when you were 11 and 12 years old, and here we are in your senior night. It feels surreal. What is going through your heart and mind?
Honestly, it's like a lot of excitement. Like, I'm so excited to have been able to play with all these girls for so long. Like, Hayley and I have played together since we were 11. Chloe and I have played together since we were 10. And Kaylee and I since we were 10. So it's like so cool to see us all like excel at our dreams and just be able to go play at the next level. And I'm so proud of all of them. So
that is fantastic. Now I have to ask you, it might be hard to choose one, but what is your favorite empowered memory?
So my favorite empowered memory would have to be when Hayley and I were 11 and we went to team dinners. We would throw gummy bears at elderly people because we thought it was like the best thing ever. And then they would look around and Hayley and I would hide and we thought we were so slick, but it was actually my favorite memory ever.
I don't even know how I'm supposed to respond to that. Our deepest apologies to all the elderly people that got hit in the head with gummy bears several years ago. But it's amazing how just even the smallest experiences with your teammates become those favorite memories moving forward. And I know that you're only going to make many more of those memories as you go on and play at the next level. And we wish you the absolute best and hope you enjoy being celebrated tonight. Do you guys have any bonus questions for Emma tonight?
How about her experience winning the state championship?
Ooh, tell us about your experience in winning the state championship. What was that like for you?
It was so awesome. Well, it was really like, honestly, it was like nerve-wracking at moments, but then all of us were like, okay, we got this. Like when we were down 2-0 and then we came back and won the last 3. It was so awesome, and I was just so happy to be there with my team and just like celebrate with each other. It was so awesome.
It is such a surreal experience to win a state championship. I had the opportunity to do that in softball my senior year of high school, and to this day I tell people that was one of the best days of my life.
Awesome. It was one of the best days of mine too. So awesome.
Well, we share that. We have that in common then. Well, like I said, thank you so much, Emma, and we just wish you the best moving forward.
Thank you so much.
Of course. Back to you guys.
That was Emma Lyons from Bishop DeWinger. She's a libero headed to Marian University next year. She played on the 18 black team here. She's going to major in nursing, and she's an outside. Like I said, some of the best defensive players we've had in the area in quite a long time, and she was one of them.
Yeah, she was really a joy to coach. I played libero in college, and I wish I was half as good as she is. When I played, and she just reads the ball really well. Is just an absolute force on defense and cannot be contained. They try to tip at her. She digs that. They try to hit balls really hard at her, and they're right to target and puts the team back in system. And we all know how well, especially those girls over there at Dwenger can do when they're back in system. And you've got, our next candidate, our next girl to sign over here, Kristen Bovey on the outside, and you're able to get the ball back in system. They throw it to her, and it's a good night for the other team. So.
Yeah, Dwenger with a ridiculous amount of wealth over the last 4 years in high school volleyball. And that moves us right on to Kristen Bovey. She's an outside hitter. She's from Bishop DeWinger High School. She's going to go to Texas A&M Corpus Christi. She played on the 18U black team here. She's going to major in kinesiology. And crazy thing is, I grew up with her father. We grew up on the same street. I had a bunch of boys that played college football. My younger brother had a bunch of kids that played college sports and still play college sports. Another young guy on the street, Jabbar Robinson, who actually is a good friend of Jeff's here. His kids, all Division I athletes. And now, the last of all the kids, it's this young lady who's going to play beach volleyball.
How crazy is it that you grew up on the same street as her dad?
Yeah, absolutely.
It is a small world.
There may have been a BB gun incident at one point with her father. Now, he might have been the victim.
Okay.
So, can't confirm or deny that, but there's a good possibility of that may have happened.
We have several conversations that are going to take place off camera from tonight. So far, I think we're already up to 3 things that need to be discussed later. So, we'll keep track of that. But Kristen, we are so excited for you. You're somebody who I also coached when you were 12 years old. Again, so surreal to be here now. What are you most looking forward to in this next phase of playing at the next level?
I think it's just like a brand new start. I mean, you get a whole new team that's going to be your family for the next 4 years, and I'm just so excited for the high-level competition that I'm going into. My beach team just made it to the national championship or tournament, and so it was really cool to go and watch them play in it, and I'm just excited to move on to that.
Well, like I said, we are thrilled for you, and we know you're so excited for what's to come. As you kind of reflect on your time here at Empowered, what would you say has been your favorite memory?
So we took a trip down to Georgia with a few girls. I think there were 6 of us in total, and then Will and Ashley drove a van down there to us. So we all drove in a van 12 hours to go play in a beach tournament all together, and I think that was the most fun I've ever had with that.
That sounds like an absolute blast. I'm so glad that you got to experience many of those road trips, and within that come so many precious memories. Well, what would you say is your favorite movie? Because we are trying to get to know everybody a little bit better tonight, and I know that can be a tough question for some. But if you could choose one movie, which one would be your favorite and why?
I would say Finding Nemo. I just feel like I watched it so much when I was little, and I just love it. I think I could quote a lot of stuff from it.
Well, then in that case, I have to ask, because I agree with you, it's a very quotable movie. What is your favorite line or favorite part of Finding Nemo?
That's a hard one. I don't know. I like when the squid said, "You made me ink." Probably my favorite part.
There's so many good parts to choose from. Well, we wish you the absolute best moving forward, Kristen. We're so excited for you, and I hope you're able to, as surreal as tonight feels, I hope you're able to soak it in some way. Absolutely. Well, very good. Thank you for your time. Back to you guys.
That was Kristen Bovey from Bishop DeWanger, headed to Texas A&M Corpus Christi. I don't know. We said she's going to play beach volleyball, did we not, Josh?
Yes, we did.
And she's an outstanding player, played on a state championship team there with Emma there at Bishop DeWanger. So a very good, once again, another good player there for Bishop DeWanger. And they're going to be loaded again next year, I'm sure, as well. Looks like we've got our next young lady. That is Leah Mummert. Mm-hmm. Yep. And she's a middle hitter from Homestead, going to IU Kokomo. She's going to study pre-medicine. And did you coach her?
I did. She, she's a middle my first year, and continued on with the middle. But was really part of our big key to a lot of our success. She's a real fast kid. Gets up and hits the ball real hard. She's deceptively long. She's got some long arms that she's able to get a lot of touches on balls, and from the blocking standpoint, that a lot of kids, her size can't get, because she is a little bit. She plays a little bit bigger than she is. Just a great kid to have in the gym. Always has a positive attitude. Always works her butt off. Is probably one of my favorite kids in the gym. So.
Yeah, and another good player from Homestead. Homestead, a building program. Mm-hmm. Once again, they're going to be good next year.
Yes.
I can tell you that right now. If you get a chance to get out next year to watch Homestead, the 2 sisters they have, along with their mentoring from the older girls we're going to meet tonight, they're going to be good next year. And we're going to send it over to Kelsey now with Leah.
Leah, we are thrilled for you tonight as you get celebrated and get ready to play at the next level. And you just got a great compliment from Josh saying that you're one of his favorite players to watch in the gym. What would you say has made your experience here at Empowered so special?
I would say that I think it would be the girls for sure. The girls on my team have always been so supportive. Sometimes you go to other clubs and people are snippy and rude, but I have never experienced that with any of the girls. And the coaches are also helpful and hands-on. They'll do extra to help you. You just have to ask for it. So I really like that aspect the best.
I'm so glad you've had a great experience with your relationships, with coaches and with teammates. It just makes it that much more fun to have this experience. There's a lot of younger girls who probably look at you and say, man, I want to be like Leah someday. I want to play at the next level. What advice would you give a little girl who says, I want to play in college someday?
My advice would be just to keep working hard at it, because I've wanted to play since I first started, because I've always loved volleyball so much, but I would start to doubt myself, and when I would, I'd be like, Leah, stop, it's gonna happen, it's gonna work out, you're gonna find what you want to do. So I would just don't stress about it. And the recruiting process is definitely hard. I mean, I had to go through it through COVID years, so it was really hard, but you'll get there and you'll get to the college that you want to go to. So I think if you just trust in the process and trust in God, he'll do what you need to do. So I think that would be my advice.
That's great advice. And you brought up a really good point. You went through the whole recruiting process during COVID, which just adds another challenge. But again, is such a testament to the fact that you could truly trust in God that he was going to provide that path for you to be able to play at the next level. And I'm so excited for you that you get to experience that, and just hope that it is just as good of an experience as you've had here at Empowered. We wish you all the best and hope you feel celebrated tonight. And I've been talking to girls about how surreal tonight can be, but I hope you're able to actually soak it in as you get to experience this with some of your teammates. We wish you the absolute best. You're welcome. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Kelsey. That was Leah Mummert from Homestead High School. She's going to have a few other one of her teammates here. We're going to see who's coming up next. You're going to have to talk because I'm going to cough.
All right. Leah's going to IU Kokomo. Coach Hayes over there does a really, really good job, and they're coming off the couple first NAI national tournament wins, and so I think she's going to fit right in and be able to play a lot. I think she's a really good player, and it's gonna make some good things happen. We're moving on over to Chloe Pierce.
Yeah, Chloe Pierce, part of the Leo squad. She's a libero, going to Hillsdale, going to major in exercise science. Now, Chloe, I'm pretty sure she's going to need her vertebrae fixed at one point in her life. If you've never seen Chloe play, she goes all over the court, full speed, everywhere, dives. She did the Scorpion on numerous occasions this year on our broadcast, watching her play. And I have to say, where she was as a freshman and where she ended up as a senior, one of the more outstanding defensive players we have in the area is Chloe Pierce.
Absolutely. I could not agree more. And to be honest with you guys, I think every year that I coach, I become more and more impressed with defenders and see the value in having somebody who can protect your backcourt with passing, with defense. Chloe, you certainly do that. It does not take long to watch you for someone to recognize what a great player you are and the effort that you put in. And like several other girls here tonight, I've had the opportunity to coach you your 12-year-old year, your 13-year-old year. To me, it is surreal that we're sitting here right now. But tell me a little bit about what has made your experience at Empowered so special.
Yeah, I would definitely say the girls have always been super awesome. Every team I've been on, the girls have been super kind, but also the coaches are so awesome. I had you at 12 and 13, but I've also had a huge variety of coaches, and every single time they've all been super intentional with us, as people and as players. So I think that's definitely what's made Empowered so unique from other clubs and why I love it so much. So, yeah.
The relationships are so special, and I've even experienced that in my role as a coach here. And it's definitely something I don't take for granted, because I think you're right. I don't think you get that everywhere, and so it's such a gift to have that here at Empowered. Well, we love to take this opportunity to get to know you a little bit better. So I want to know, what is a hidden talent that you have that maybe not everybody knows about? Or maybe it's a hobby that not everybody knows that you enjoy.
That is actually so hard. Whenever somebody asks me this question, I never know what to say. My go-to, they're like, oh, something special. I'm just like, oh, I'm left-handed. But that's not really, anything. I danced for a while. I don't know if that's something, but I danced for 7 years.
It's like we lost some audio over there right there, Josh, so we'll see. Oh, what? She's back.
Can you guys hear us right now?
There you go.
Sorry about that.
Something about breakdancing.
He said something about breakdancing, right? What kind of dance did you do for 7 years?
It was contemporary. It was a Christian dance organization, so we didn't have a particular name for it, but it was kind of a combination of everything. But yeah, so I did that through my church up until 7th grade. So yeah.
That is really neat, and probably a hidden talent and hobby that not everybody knows about you. And you're gonna display your dance skills tonight for us, right?
I don't know about that, but maybe. For you, I will.
There we go. Another off-camera thing that we gotta deal with later, right? Well, Chloe, it has been such a gift to have had the opportunity to coach you and just to watch you grow as a player and as a person. And we just wish you the absolute best at the next level and hope you enjoy being celebrated. You're welcome. Back to you guys.
That was Chloe Pierce, headed to Hillsdale College. She won't be too far away from home up there in Michigan. She's going to be a libero. And I mentioned the defense, so I'm a longtime baseball coach. Forever. I've been doing it 30 years, finally took my first year off from doing it. And when you see a really good catcher at the youth level and you're in the travel organization, you want one.
Yeah.
You know, it's like that. That's how I feel about liberos.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Chloe, and that was a ridiculous. It was part of the reason why they this year were able to go to nationals and do very, very well. I think they ended up in 5th at the national tournament. They just defense wins championships. You know, like you said. I mean, they fly around. I mean, they had Chloe flying around back there, and then they also had Emma flying around back there, and then a couple of the other players that we'll talk about a little bit later. But just, I mean, it's one of the things where you've got a kid who goes 100% every single time, like Chloe Pierce. I mean, she'll run through a brick wall, she'll run through the steel wall, she'll run into the bleachers, she'll run into the pole, she'll dive. You know, she'll do everything you need to keep that ball off the ground. And it's part of why she's going to go play at a very good Hillsdale program.
Yeah, and you and Kelsey both know that it don't take long to figure out who can play in the back row when you go to a travel tournament, because that's where you really get to see all your talent. It's hard to get to the high school games when you guys are coaching all the time. But just seeing her on the court and these other young ladies that play defense around the area, it takes about 3 minutes probably for you two to go, I'm going to put them on the list.
Oh, yeah, 100%. I mean, you see, tendencies with footwork and platform work and the floor skills of, when the ball is on the floor and how they pick that up. And a lot of it, too, is in the eyes, too, about where they see the ball and how they move. And, Chloe's one of those kids that you can see, when she moves and when she makes those plays where her eyes are, where the ball is, and there's a purpose to everything she does. And it's pretty fun to watch when somebody's doing it well.
Yeah, I think Kelsey wants to add to that.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Sorry, I'm kind of interjecting into your conversation here, but I could not agree more. I couldn't agree more when you were talking about how you can watch even for a few minutes and see, one, somebody's overall skill set, but also how hard they work, their mentality on the court. Are they a good teammate? I don't think it takes long to recognize that, so I just couldn't agree more, and I'm sure, Josh, you can attest to that as well as a college coach.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's just – when you're going through the process of choosing kids who you want to bring into your program and do all the things that we're going to ask them to do as college coaches, they really have to be able to come in and do, dive on the floor and pick stuff up and have a purpose and work really hard and have a good attitude and just be fun to be around too, because at the end of the day we have to everybody's got to coming to work every day and it's it's something that's these kids here tonight made it really easy to come to work here to coach these kids.
Yeah, and speaking of another hard worker, we've got one sitting next to Kelsey, and that is Reagan Salzbrenner. She is from Woodland High School. She was an opposite side hitter. She's going to attend Taylor University. She's going to study business. This is her second year here with Empowered, and although she does hit the right side, I'm going to just say it, she's a hell of a server.
Yeah, she was one of the kids that was on that team my first year here, and it was her first year and my first year kind of coincided. So, she served the heck out of the ball. She was a middle then before transitioning over here to the oppo or the right side, and just a really good kid and who really just wants to put in the work and just wants to. You tell her what to do, she's going to go do it 100% every time.
Yeah, and her high school is going to be very good again this year in volleyball out there at Woodland. And Kelsey, you're going to get a chance to let us meet Reagan.
Absolutely. Now, Reagan is another one of those players that I'm going to see on the other side of the net these next 4 years, which I'm not excited about having to play against you. However, I am thrilled for you in playing at the next level, and will always be so excited to run into you, even if it is on the other side of the net. Josh was just talking about how hard of a worker you are and how coachable you are. When you look at your experience at Empowered and where you are now and being able to play at the next level, what advice would you give to younger girls who say, man, I want to be like Reagan, I want to go play college volleyball?
I would definitely say to push yourself outside your comfort zone, because
it's that difference between getting better and staying where you're at. And the more you push yourself to be uncomfortable and try those new skills and try to nail that technique down that you're really struggling at, I feel like that's the groundbreaker right there, is what breaks you through to the next level and allows you to develop those new skills and just improve into the player that you can be.
Absolutely. I think that is fantastic advice. Now, you have had a couple years here at Empowered. When you look at all of the memories that you've gathered in these couple of years, what would you say is your favorite memory you've experienced here?
I said there's probably a lot that I shouldn't share on here, but other than that, definitely
Can't be worse than the gummy bears.
Being able to go and like hike around and just spend that time, obviously the volleyball aspect of it, which we played great there, but outside of that, just the team bonding and getting to explore that like beautiful Phoenix, which I'd never been to before. So I feel like that was a good memory to end this season on.
I'm so excited that you guys got to experience playing in the national tournament. And, of course, Phoenix is a beautiful place to go and do that and to still soak in those relationships that you've made over the past couple of years. I'm sure that was a really neat experience for you guys, and I'm thankful that you had that. Well, Reagan, we are so excited for you in playing at the next level. I know that we've had a few bonus questions tonight for some people. Are there any bonus questions we have for Reagan tonight?
I think one question I'd like to ask her a little bit about the Woodland program. That program is in the group of death of volleyball for the most part in that sectional. They go to a very tough sectional. And
Yeah.
Reagan has been a part of it for the last 4 years. And she has helped build a program and mentor girls like Ava Smith, who we're going to get to see next year, who could be one of the area's top players.
Yeah.
But her feelings leaving that program in the better shape than it was before she got there.
Absolutely. He was just talking about how from the time that you started playing at Woodland to now you're graduating and moving forward, he was talking about just how much that program has developed and grown. And we know that you've been a part of that. You know, you've been able to mentor younger players coming underneath you, and you're leaving that program better than where you found it. And so what was that experience like for you, and how do you feel now looking back and saying, okay, I'm moving on to the next level, but we were really able to grow a lot in my high school program?
Yeah, so obviously like Woodland's a really small school, so being able to see that growth with the players you have, and you can definitely see the difference between like the bigger schools like Dwenger and Carroll that have all these girls that are constantly in club. We don't have that at Woodland. So being able to take what we have, and we have good talent at Woodland, being able to take that, and I feel like this year, like the most growth we have was through just the team aspect of it, because through all the challenges that we had outside of the team, I think we did a really good job at coming together, and just the trust between us is really what took us so far this past year.
Wow, that is really neat to hear that had been your experience. And like what was said, you know, we have no doubt that you played a major role in that, in helping develop a program that you can say, man, we have really grown in the past 4 years, and like we said, mentored younger girls. So thank you for how you've done that, and we have no doubt that that's what you're going to do moving forward as well, that you're going to be an excellent teammate, and we just wish you the best. Of course, back to you guys.
That was Reagan Salzbrenner from Woodland High School, heading to Taylor next year to study business. And I have to say, Josh, her program has really grown out there, and they're going to have two of the area's tops. I don't know where they're going to put them, but Taylor Kniebuehler and Ava Smith can play on the court pretty much the entire match. They can play all 6 rotations, and they're going to be a team to reckon with in 3A. And while she was there, and that's Reagan, they were ranked for the majority of last season in 3A, fairly high, and that was because of her and these young ladies they have coming out of their program now.
Yeah, I think it just really shows about how contagious, you know, hard work and dedication is in kids who are willing to come together for a common goal, and how contagious that is, because, you know, it shows at smaller schools, and you've got kids that play club and kids who don't. You have that high school season really to develop your team and develop your camaraderie, and for kids to come and say, hey, yeah, we're going to do this, and to buy in for only a couple months and continue to grow is huge. I mean, it really is huge at the high school level. So it's really good to see, and I'm really excited where that Reagan was able to kind of help build that up, and I'm sure she, like she said earlier, she's excited to see where it can go over the next couple of years.
Yeah, it's a nice short drive for you to go to recruit too.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad.
Not too far. And now we've got her. I believe this is Hope Mooring.
Mm-hmm.
She's a setter from DeKalb High School. She'll go to Franklin. This is her third year here with Empowered. She's going to study business. Now, we didn't get to see a lot of DeKalb this year, and we're going to send it over to you, Kelsey, and we're going to get to meet Hope.
Awesome. Hope, we are excited for you and playing in the next level. Tell us a little bit about how you decided to play at Franklin. What drew you in?
Okay, so Randy, who's the coach at Franklin, was my club coach last year. And I wasn't going to go to Franklin at first, but she kind of, told me that I should when she, switched over there. So once I got my my visit down, I was really excited because at first I was kind of skeptical because I never heard of Franklin. It's private, D3. But once I went there, it was beautiful. It's just this little small campus, close to everything, and the academics there were awesome. I want to be a real estate agent, so business was what I was looking for to get a little jump start. So they had business, and that's pretty much why I chose it. Just the academics and the destination and just the teammates when I met them too were awesome. It was just a little family.
I love that a coach that you had here at Empowered is now going to be your college coach. That is really neat, and the Empowered family can continue on through your college years. You mentioned wanting to be in real estate, and so you're pursuing business. How did you decide that you wanted to pursue real estate?
Okay, so it was basically just all the HGTV TV shows that I've been watching, and then Selling Sunset on Netflix. I know it's more reality, but just the houses are beautiful. I'll be driving down the road, I won't even be paying attention to the road. I'll just be looking at the houses, oh, that one's nice, and I'll be oh, I have to drive. But I'm in love with all types of houses, and I'm just it's if you sell 5 houses a year, you're making bank, especially by myself. Once I get that going, I feel confident that I know what I'm talking about just from watching all the shows and stuff. So,
well, we can definitely tell that you're passionate about it and that it's something that excites you, which I think is really neat. We will be praying for you to be safe on the road when your eyes are not on the road ahead of you and you're looking at those houses. Yes, we will be praying for your safety. But if you were to share with us your favorite Empowered memory, what would that be?
Okay. My favorite Empowered memory is probably last year when I was on 17 Black. We were at dinner at this Mexican restaurant, and we convinced the waiter that it was Mitch Cruz's birthday, your dad, and they came out and sang to him. And they did something with whipped cream, but it was just hilarious because I was the one that told the waiter, it's that guy's birthday, but it wasn't his birthday at all. He just wanted him to come and sing to him.
And he is probably the best person for you to do that to because most people might be embarrassed or shy away. I'm sure he embraced that fully and loved every second.
He sure did. Yeah, that was hilarious. That was definitely one of my favorite memories.
Well, very good. If you were to give advice to younger athletes who want to play at the next level, what advice would you leave them with?
It's really hard, doing high school and coming here after, but I say just try not to get burnt out because there's times where you're gonna regret, you want to not go to practice, you're just gonna be so drained. But I think when you're in that, I just think you should just focus on the future and what you want, and just keep going to practice and just keep pushing because someday you will get there. Just not never stop trying.
I think that's really good advice to just encourage people to remember what the end goal is, to provide some extra motivation on the hard days, and just to really embrace that love for the game and remember why you started in the first place. Well, we are thrilled for you in playing at the next level and wish you the best and hope you get to soak in all of the celebration tonight.
Thank you.
Of course. Back to you guys.
That was Hope Mooring, a setter from DeKalb. Headed off to Franklin, and she'll study business, and maybe we'll see her on Beachfront Bargain Hunt someday, Josh, or one of those shows that will be on here on one of the HG stations. And we've talked a lot about defense today, but we really haven't talked a lot about the people that make the team run.
Yeah, Hope's
and that's a setter.
Yeah. Hope is one of those setters that sets the ball and hits the ball, and I think this last year and the last 2 years, she's really grown as a setter of learning about the game and learning and understanding how to make things happen and to understanding when to set whom and when to set different players where and do all that kind of stuff. And fun fact about Hope, she's a state champion bowler.
Holy cow!
Yeah, she won this past year. They won her DeKalb bowling team won the state title for Indiana. So I know that's something that she's very proud of and worked really, really hard to do.
So she's a multi-sport athlete.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, we were just about ready to meet Grace Stedge here from before they sent all the young ladies downstairs. But she's a multi-sport athlete, going to do track next year. And I actually went to high school with her father and at Concordia. So it's weird seeing all these young ladies here. I grew up with their dads.
Yeah. I think it shows how close-knit, Fort Wayne is and how close-knit, Empowered is and how it comes into, making everybody be, everybody coming in together and growing in that family that we've talked about all night. I had the opportunity when I moved here to go to a couple of different clubs and go, but my biggest draw to come here was to want to be a part of the family. And it really is treated by a family. I know, Will and Ashley run it. And obviously they're together, but Will's mom works here. Ashley's mom comes in and helps out on tournament days. You've got Holly Miller and her kid here. You had, the G-Birds here when they played. You had everybody, and the Cruz is going through here. And so it's a really fun and very welcoming atmosphere for everybody. And it's something I really wanted to be part of. And luckily enough, I'm a part of it.
Kelsey, can you hear us now?
They will be coming in.
Looks like we're getting cut off here. But
first of all, while they're doing that, all of you parents, we just want to thank you guys for all coming out to be able to celebrate these athletes' special days. But also thank you guys for all of the years of commitment, all of the years of support, just your guys' dedication and commitment to your daughters and their future and their dreams and aspirations with volleyball, but also to Empower. And believing in our system, in our model, and in trusting us with your guys' daughters. So we thank you guys from the bottom of our heart. On behalf of Ashley, myself, and the whole Empowered staff, we just really thank you, parents, for just everything that you do for your kids, for Empowered, and just for volleyball in general. So we thank you guys. And athletes, why don't you give your parents a big round of applause? Actually, all the beach kids, why don't you guys sit in the front? Let the girls who have to go back to indoor to stay kind of on the concrete, on the edge. You guys can all fill into the middle there. You're good. Yeah. Athletes coming in, you guys can just line the sidewalk, just kind of sit on the sidewalk, or you can squeeze over there. File in that way, and you guys can sit along the concrete.
Ellie.
Put your feet into the sand. You can kick the sand off it.
Ellie. Eliana. Janelle.
Is that everybody? I think we got everybody. So, all right, well, thank you guys all once again, even the news who's gotten here. We thank you for the 2022 senior celebration. As we have total 25 athletes that we were able to get recruited and be able to go on in this 2022 class to be able to go on and play at the next level. So that's a huge accomplishment. That's one of the biggest recruiting classes in the country. And ultimately, we couldn't do half of this without all of you guys. So all the parents, all of you amazing athletes, all the support staff, we just thank you guys from the bottom of your heart, from the bottom of our heart, just for all the hard work and commitment that you guys have put into this, to be able to get empowered to the level that we are, to be able to provide the services and the training and the model that we are to be able to help our athletes really in every area of their life, and helping us to really complete the one-stop model that we always had, and really just wanted to be able to bring together anything and everything that a young athlete would need. And so we thank all of you guys for making that possible. And then for all of you athletes for trusting, believing in the process and the system, even when it's not always fun. And I get beach training is not always fun and easy. It's extremely hard and grueling to run and jump and move in the sand. And yeah, Wesley seconds that motion. And we know you get sweaty and dirty, and sand is really tough. But I appreciate you guys buying in and still coming out and training and putting forth the effort every single beach practice. And then I know the same with the weight room. I know working out is hard, you know, and putting that time into the performance and not seeing immediate results takes a real commitment level and a real trust and belief in the process and system. Because as we know, those gains come slowly over time with a lot of consistency. And so we thank you guys for continuing to just go above and beyond with your commitment and your time and just your effort and energy to really, you know, fully invest, you know, in our system, in our process, and believing in it wholeheartedly, and ultimately working it to get to the point that you are today, that we're able to celebrate you guys, and that you guys are able to be able to go on to fulfill your dreams of playing at the next level, you know, and being able to get your, you know, your degree and real rock solid foundation for you guys to be able to start your careers and start your life. So without further ado, we will go through all of our graduates, and we will start in alphabetical order. And we are going by the first name I see. So we have Miss Braelyn Stockman, and she is from Homestead High School. She will be going to Ohio Christian University, and she was on our 18 Onyx team, and she plans to study early education. And the main memory that she will hold on to is all of the friendships that she has formed over the years here at Empowered. Give Miss Braelyn Stockman a big hand, ladies and gentlemen. Our second athlete, Miss Chloe Pierce, a libero from Leo High School, will be attending Hillsdale College next year. She was a member of our 18 black team, and she plans on studying exercise science. And her favorite memory at Empowered was her 15th year when they won a tournament and got a bid to Florida, but may or may not have taken a picture with somebody else's trophy. And apparently that team was looking for their trophy as they were taking pictures with it. So that is Miss Chloe Pierce and her career at Empowered. The next athlete up is Miss Destiny Bradfield, a middle blocker from Northrop High School. She will be going to St. Louis Pharmacy and was on our 18 Onyx team and plans to study pharmacy. And one of her favorite memories at Empowered was having team dinners and being able to bond and make friends with her teammates. Miss Destiny Bradfield, ladies and gentlemen. Dylan, I apologize if I botched this last name. Can you say it for me, please? Dylan, ladies and gentlemen. outside hitter for Wawa C, is heading to Purdue Fort Wayne right here in our backyard. And she is one of our multi-sport athletes. And she's actually going to Purdue Fort Wayne now to run track. And she was on our 17-18 black team, and she plans on studying biology. And her favorite memory was coming to practice and having the best time just joking around with everybody. And so right there is what we love about Empowered. I love to see that you guys' favorite memories are being here at practice, bonding with your teammates, and that what we've really pushed with our family culture has really dug in and really taken root, and that you guys all as athletes feel comfortable and feel like this is your family, and that you've made some really great friendships that you'll take on for the rest of your life. And so that is Dylan, ladies and gentlemen. Next up, we have Mrs. Emma Lyons, who is a libero from Dwenger High School, and she will be attending Marian University, and she is one of the originals who, if you have a little time, feel free to go inside and look at the big banner on the wall and see Emma and some of these other girls as 11-year-olds. And yeah, be able to see them that first year was just really amazing. To be able to see some of these originals, as I see this list of names that started with us all the way back over 8 years ago, and have grown up here at the club as, you know, your little young girls to turn into amazing young ladies. And so Emma Lyons was from our 18 black, and she will be studying nursing. Give her a hand. Right, we got another multi-sport athlete, Miss Grace Stead, center from Homestead, decided to go ahead and run track instead of play volleyball. She's going to be heading to Butler University to run track. She was on our 17 black team and plans on studying accounting. And her favorite memory was going down to Bluegrass in Louisville with her 17 red team last year when Julie brought the donuts. Grace Stead, ladies and gentlemen. Next up, another one of our OGs who started with us all the way back in 2014, Miss Hayley Cruz, outside hitter from Lakewood Park Christian. She will be heading to play for her sister at Huntington University, and she will be studying business marketing. And favorite part of her time here at Empowered, favorite memory is going out to the team dinners. So thank you, Miss Hayley Cruz, for being one of the originals. All right, up next we have Hope Mooring, center out of DeKalb. She will be heading off to Franklin College, and she was from our 18 Onyx team, and she plans on studying business. And her favorite Empowered memory might start a little fight here, but it was beating the 16 black team during President's Day. So right there, Hope Mooring, ladies and gentlemen. All right, up next we have Isabelle Shelton, outside hitter from Carroll High School. She'll be going to DePaul University next year. She's from our 17-18 black team, and she plans on studying kinesiology. And once again, her favorite memory was winning against the 16s at President's Day, teammate of Hope's. And there will be probably a battle out in the parking lot with the former 16 black players. So Isabelle Shelton, ladies and gentlemen, give her a hand. All right, next, Kaylee Matney from Carroll High School. Sorry, we lost the mic there for a second. She will be heading off to Cedarville University. She also is one of the OGs that you can go take a picture of right there in the front row of the banner on the wall. She is from our 18 black team, and she plans on studying nursing. And her favorite memory was when we took a trip down to Georgia to play in a beach tournament. And we all rode down in a 15-passenger van. And it was a great memory. So Kaylee Matney, ladies and gentlemen. All right, next up, Kiana Gomez, outside hitter and opposite from Snyder High School. She'll be staying here local, right here at St. Francis here in Fort Wayne. She's from our 18 Onyx team, and she plans on studying business. And her favorite memory was my whole season with the 17-18 Red. It was just absolutely amazing. And she's the only girl in her family, so it felt like she had 9 sisters by her side. Every practice and every tournament was filled with laughter and joy, even when it got rough. So Kiana, give her a hand right there. That's what we love to hear. It always touches my heart as a director to be able to hear that family is really, soaking in here, and that everyone does feel a part of the Empowered family and embraced. So next up we have Kristen Bovey, our beach athlete this year, and one and only. She is an outside hitter from Dwenger High School. She'll be heading down to Texas A&M in Corpus Christi, and she has played off and on, even though she committed to beach a couple years ago full-time. We have still roped her into playing for the 18 black team over the last couple years. So she did finish with our 18 black team, and she will be going off to study kinesiology. And her favorite memory was also the van ride down to Atlanta, Georgia for a beach event. So Kristen Bovey, ladies and gentlemen. All right, up next, Leah Mummert, middle hitter at a Homestead High School. She will be attending IU Kokomo University. She also is from our 18 black team, and she will be going pre-med. And her favorite memory was Nationals last year in Chicago. Leah Mummert, ladies and gentlemen. We have another Leah, Miss Leah Carter, and also a middle hitter for the 18 black team. She is from Northwestern High School, and she will be heading off to Huntington University with Mrs. Cruz. And she was on our 18 black and will be studying nursing. And her favorite memory was meeting the girls and all of the new friendships that she created. And for some who don't know, Leah drives from 2 hours away to be able to come here and was brand new to the team this year. So I really appreciate the whole team and just the club in general, how you guys embraced her and brought a kid coming from 2 hours away that you've never met in your life and really embracing her and making her a part of the family. So kudos to the whole Empowered family. And once again, Miss Leah Carter, ladies and gentlemen. Next up, we have Madeline the Nook, a setter from Concordia High School. She will keep the Concordia in the blood, and she is heading off to Concordia Ann Arbor to be able to play next year, and she is going to study athletic training. And her most favorite memory in Empowered was all of the people that she got to meet and that she now feels like are part of her family and helped her through everything. So Madeline the Nook, ladies and gentlemen. All right, up next we have, let me make sure we got everybody here. We got Nisha Anderson, another one of our multi-sport athletes, middle blocker from Snyder High School. And she will be heading off to go, correct me if I'm wrong, shot put, right? Shot put at Indiana State University next year. And she's to play on our 17-18 black team, and she's going down to study criminal justice. And her favorite Empowered ministry was the team sleepovers. So Nisha Anderson, ladies and gentlemen. And as several of you guys you'll hear some of the multi-sport athletes. As you guys know, we were all multi-sport athletes, a lot of us and our coaches, and we support our athletes to play as many sports as they want to and to play the sports that they love as long as they can. And in the end, as long as our athletes go on and fulfill their dreams, it doesn't never have to be volleyball. I don't care what sport it is. I still know that the lessons that they learned and all of the commitment and discipline and everything that they learned here at the club will help them be successful in whatever sport it is and also in life. And so that is one thing to the younger athletes. You know, if you still love another sport, don't ever feel pressure to have to commit to just playing volleyball. If you still love another sport, it's still an option too. You're even thinking about playing at the next level. Understand, we'll still celebrate you. We'll still be there to help you along the way. regardless if it's volleyball. It doesn't matter what sport it is. We want you guys to be successful and go on to the next level in whatever it is. We just want you to pursue your passions. So once again, Miss Nisha Anderson. All right, up next we have Olivia Cron. She is a libero from Homestead High School, and she will also be heading off to Huntington University with the rest of the team, and they will be studying business over here. And her favorite memory at Empowered was any sort of team bonding that they did with the teammates. She just absolutely loved the team. So Olivia Cron, ladies and gentlemen. Those who don't know, if you still need a spot, I think Kelsey Cruz is still recruiting a couple more people. If you want to follow the rest of the train to Huntington University, talk to her afterwards. Next up, we have Miss Peyton Rolfson, setter from Leo High School. She will be heading off to Emory and Henry next year. She was a member of our 18 black team and will be studying exercise science as well. And her favorite Empowered memory was playing beach in Clearwater with some of her favorite people. Peyton Ralston, ladies and gentlemen. All right, up next, Miss Quinn Odin. She is a middle blocker from Northrop. She will be heading to Lourdes University next year. She was a member of our 17-18 black team, and she plans on studying nursing. And her favorite Empowered ministry was when Leslie dug an overpass hit with her back. So Quinn Odin. All right, up next we have Reagan Salzbrenner, an opposite from Woodland High School. She's heading off to Taylor University next year, and she is also a part of our 18 black team, and she is planning on studying business. And her favorite memory at Empowered was the team photo shoots with Gail down in Indy. And I'm assuming any time you did a photo shoot with Gail. So Reagan Salzbrenner, ladies and gentlemen. All right, up next we have Savannah Reed, setter from Columbia City. She is heading to UNOH next year with Mr. Kreiner, one of our coaches here at Empowered, and she is going to be studying business administration. And her favorite memory here was having Avon as my coach this year, because in 7th grade he told me I was horrible. Is Mr. Avon Matos out here? So he might be the one leaving the building right now. So just another piece of encouragement to all you young athletes. No matter how many coaches discourage you and tell you that you're terrible, you too can go on and play in college and play at the next level. So let that be an encouragement to you. Don't ever let somebody discourage you from your dreams. Savannah Reed, ladies and gentlemen. Can I ask, though, did that happen to be at a camp or something? I won't say what university. I won't throw them under the bus. All right, next up we have Cheyenne Duncan, a middle blocker at Prairie Heights. She will be heading off to play at Manchester College for a.k.a. Mr. Avon Matos, who did just leave the building. And she is studying elementary education. And her favorite memory at Empowered was last season in Louisville for MEQs. Cheyenne Duncan, ladies and gentlemen. All right, last but definitely not least, we have Miss Tess Herendeen, our outside hitter from Homestead High School. She will be heading off next year to Appalachian State, and she played for our 18 black team and plans on studying biochemistry. And her favorite memory was going to all of the team dinners. Tess Herendeen, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so this is the big moment you've all been waiting for. Grab your pens and your paper. And as you start to sign, continue to keep signing so they can get some good video of you signing. So on the count of 3, start signing. 1, count with me, girls. 2 and 3, sign. Give them a hand, everybody. Give them a hand, ladies and gentlemen. Continue to keep tracing so that way they can get some good video for the news. Continue to keep signing. Good. All right. So as they finish signing, what we'll do now is all the girls, not yet, but you guys are first going to go over and do a photo with all of you guys in front of your guys' banners. And kudos to you guys. We had so many kids this year that we couldn't put you guys on one banner. So you're the first class to get 2 banners with so many athletes. So give yourselves a hand right now for being so amazing. We're setting records over here. And then after you guys take your photos, you guys can come back and start taking photos with families at your guys' tables and everything. And then those seniors who didn't do the interviews upstairs with Kelsey, we'll have you guys rotate up there. But everybody, all the spectators, all the athletes, thank you guys for coming out. All our seniors, give them a hand for all these family members, all these teammates coming out to support you. And as we know, it truly does take a village. It takes a team for us athletes to be successful. So we couldn't do it without all these people over here. And so from all of us over here, we're extremely proud of you guys. Great job. One last time, round of applause. And all of you guys are dismissed. Go do your photos and then come back and you guys can do your family photos. All our athletes, you can head back inside. If you want to stay and take some pictures with some of the seniors, you guys are welcome to take some pictures with the seniors. And then you can head back in. So you're welcome to stay out here if you want. And then all the parents and any spectators, you guys are welcome to partake in any of the cookies or snacks or drinks over there. And then
Josh, I think we're getting some stuff moved around here because we're going to have Lily Cruz with us here in just a moment. And what's going on right now, ladies and gentlemen, you can't hear Will Power any longer. The young ladies are going to get their picture taken here. They're going to get put on a banner. Such a big recruiting class this year, 25 officially getting recruited here in multiple sports, not just volleyball. We've got some track athletes here this evening as well. And you mentioned Mooring getting a chance to be on the bowling state championship for DeKalb. So multi-sport athletes for sure. And they're going to get their picture taken. Then we're going to start bringing them back up here, and they'll jump back over with Kelsey again, and she will start doing the interviews once again. I think we got through about 10 or 12 of the young ladies, and that's about what we've got left to go here. But now we're being joined. We said Mo, Curly, and Larry were going to be here tonight, and are we sure which one Lily is?
I don't know. I don't know which one I would call her.
Or are they more like the 3 amigos?
Yeah, I would say probably more like the three. What's sisters in Spanish? I don't know. I'd rather the three sisters rather than the 3 friends. But Lily played here. She was one of the kids. She wasn't an OG that went through all of her years here, but she was one of the kids that when they created Empowered, and she was one of the first on one of the first teams here. I think you were what 15 or 16 at the time, right, Lily?
Yeah. Is this on?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I was here for the inaugural year of Empowered, and it was my 16th year, I believe, and we were kind of a force to be reckoned with. Will coached us, and we ended up winning the Bluegrass tournament in Louisville.
I was going to say, that was you and Katie Crow, and it was
Rachel Klitzing was on our team at the time, and Olivia Martin.
Uh-huh.
So.
Yeah, it was a pretty good class. All those kids have gone and played at a high level. So, and you going to Liberty and then now you're joining your sister over at Huntington University. I am,
Yes, I am.
Not looking forward to that next fall.
By the way, if you have not been to Liberty University, it is definitely a bucket list place you should go to. I had my son's football team, actually, Army, played Liberty this past year, so I drove that easy trip down to Lynchburg, which is not easy, by the way. Yeah, it's not an easy trip down to Lynchburg, but beautiful facilities down there, wonderful school. They had a great quarterback. Good thing their receivers were dropping the ball that day, or we might have got beat by Liberty with the Army squad. But Lily, you've exhausted your time there.
Yes.
And you are going to join your sisters now at Huntington. How does that feel? I mean, is your dad going to be well, he only has to go to one spot.
I know.
That's nice.
I think my parents are just as excited, if not more excited than we are. They just went from going to all of Haley's club tournaments and high school matches, trying to make Kelsey's matches at Huntington, and then trying to make mine in Lynchburg, Virginia wasn't the easiest. And just overnight, now they're going to have all three of us in one place. So they're pretty excited, and so are we. I'm definitely looking forward to just rounding out my volleyball career in an environment that I know I can love and trust, as well as girls that I know I can love and trust, and just truly enjoy the sport and just play with passion and have fun, honestly.
Yeah, and for those of you that are only joining us for the first time, we did this last year, and you're a young lady that went in to hit the ball, being an attacker, and ended up being a libero, correct?
Yes, that's correct. My junior season, it was our COVID season, quote unquote, and our season got shifted to the spring, and we lost quite a few players because of that. And so we ended up having no defensive specialists on the team at all. And my coach came to me and was like, Lily, I think you're the only one who can do it. I need you to play libero. And honestly, at the time, I was a little unsure, like, okay, I guess. Anything to just be on the floor and have an opportunity to lead and contribute. But it ended up being a really cool experience for me, and I loved and enjoyed it a lot. I enjoyed the position a lot more than I expected to. And there's just a lot of elements that come with being a libero, such as like vocal leadership and kind of being the captain of the back row, that were really energizing to me. And then actually my senior season, I transferred back to the outside. So it was kind of a whirlwind, but for sure a good learning experience, and feel like it rounded me out as a player.
So that means you're going to play all 6 rotations for your sister.
That's what I'm hoping.
Yeah.
She says no one's promised a spot, everyone earns it.
Absolutely, and I think they're just about ready to get your sister back up and running over there, and she is presently with Grace Stedge, and Grace Stedge, a member of the Homestead squad, and Grace is a 2-sport athlete. Like I mentioned, I actually went to high school, graduated with her father there at Concordia High School, and I'm just trying to find Grace's stuff here. Here it is. She's going to go to Butler. She's going to run track. This is her 4th year with the program, and like her father, she's going to be in finance, in accounting. So Grace Stedge. And Kelsey, can you hear me now?
Yes, I sure can.
So I do have a bonus question for Grace at the end.
You get a bonus question at the end, so you be prepared for that, okay?
And she's all yours.
Awesome. Well, Grace, we are really excited for you to celebrate going on to run track at Butler. What an incredible accomplishment.
We lost you there, Kelsey.
Well, we lost Kelsey. I know. I had the opportunity.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
I'm back. Okay, sorry about that. Technical difficulties. But we're just so excited for you moving forward. As you look back at your time at Empowered, what would you say was your most special memory?
I have a lot of great memories just with the girls, really creating relationships with the coaches and the girls, and just joking around at practices and stuff. I think my season at 17 Red last year was a really good experience, and Julie bringing donuts was definitely a highlight.
We gotta love those donuts, right? Now, obviously, running track at the next level, can you tell us what events that you'll be doing?
Yeah, so for high school, I do mainly the 400, the 200, and the 4x400 relay. I'll probably stick around those events for college, but we'll just see what the coach wants me to do.
So basically what you're telling me is you are very fast. That's the moral of the story.
I'm not a great 100 runner. With a little bit more distance, I'm good. Short mid-distance is where I do well.
Well, somebody who is really good at running, we just all admire you, because that is not a gift that all of us have. If you were to give advice to younger athletes who say that they want to compete at the next level, what advice would you give them in preparing for that?
Some of the best advice I've ever gotten was just bet on yourself. Even when everyone else doesn't think you can do it, you have to believe in yourself and just know that you have a lot more to prove.
Wow, I love that. And when you think about your preparation to compete at the next level, who is someone, in addition to yourself, that you feel like has truly believed in you and helped you get to this point?
Well, for sure, my parents and family, but definitely my friends and my high school coaches for track, and teammates. They believed in me a lot, and they helped me get to where I am today, for sure.
That's really encouraging that you've had that support system in this journey. Well, we are thrilled for you and wish you the best. Now, we got to get to that bonus question, though. So what is the bonus question that you have for Grace?
Josh, do you have a question, too?
No.
You're going to comment, though, correct, when I'm done here?
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, I will.
Hey, let's go back to the donut question. What's her favorite donut?
Okay, your bonus question is, what is your favorite donut, since that was such a special memory to you?
Honestly, I don't remember what kind of donut that was, but probably just like a solid glazed donut is very good.
You're a classic girl. Why mess with a good thing? It's already there. Well, we hope there's a lot of glazed donuts in your future and a lot of winning competitions at the next level. Again, we wish you the best and hope you're able to enjoy being celebrated tonight. All right, thank you. Of course. Back to you guys.
I was going to say I had the pleasure of being and the privilege to be the assistant coach on that 17 red team last year with Grace, and for her, she pats me on the back as we go by. Just getting to know her and getting to know her family. I coach her younger sister now on the 13s, and they're just amazing people, and they really do. They've done her mom and dad have done amazing jobs of raising their 4 girls and bringing them up to be fierce competitors when they're on the court, and then just amazing people when they're off. And so it's really nice to be able to see that healthy balance, because I think it's really easy to get caught up in either way, either being too nice, off the court and being too nice of a person on the court, and then, being a fierce competitor on the court, and then letting that carry over to off the court stuff, isn't always the best. So for her to be able to do both and be one of the best, track kids in Fort Wayne, if not the state. She's qualified for state. It really shows to her drive and her passion for competition.
Yeah, being a multi-sport, when you see some of these young ladies tonight that are multi-sport, and maybe, did you play a multiple sport? Did you play softball as well, like your sister?
Yes, I played softball my entire life until my senior year of high school.
So when these young ladies and young men that are around this area, when they play multiple sports, they just have a different gene. I'm sure you guys have experienced this. You don't like to lose a whole lot when you're a multiple sport athlete.
Yes.
I know I played baseball and basketball in high school and ended up playing volleyball most of the time at the end. But it just that drive you have is amazing when you get out there and you're a multi-sport athlete. Your adrenaline gets going. Some of your tendencies that you can have from one sport can translate to another.
Yeah, that's true. And I think you make a really great point that it's tricky to get a balance between being a fierce competitor, especially when you're playing multiple sports and you want to win and be great at everything you do, and then trying to balance that with still being a good teammate, being a kind person in and outside of your sport. And it's really cool to see girls that have mastered both, that are able to understand the importance of wanting to win and wanting to be your best while still doing it in a respectable manner.
Josh, do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, it's something we all look for. I think Kelsey and I are very similar on how we recruit kids and how we like to bring kids into our program. And at the end of the day, we're bringing kids into our family and our program, and all the ladies that are in our programs. We're bringing somebody into their family. So you have to make sure that we're still going to be a positive and helping part, on the court and being a fierce competitor. But then when they're off the court, they have to be able to make sure they can get along with everybody and understand that, we're all here for the same goal, and we're all going to support and uplift everybody.
That is a really important piece, too, of building a culture at a school, and I'm sure you experience that as a coach. I know Kelsey experiences that as a coach, and I've experienced that as a player, that, one person can taint the culture of an entire program. My best friend at college actually is recently transferring, and the school that she was visiting that she ended up committing to would not make her an offer, even though she was probably overqualified for that program, until they met her and she was on campus and she interacted with the players and the team. And I thought that was really neat as a college athlete to see a program that was sticking true to those core values of building a culture and building something special, and they weren't going to offer it to just anyone. They needed the character and who the person was to line up with the skill set.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you talked about, going to a school and learning the culture there. I mean, when you picked Liberty,
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you went to other schools,
Mm-hmm.
had the opportunity to go on other visits. Did you know, like, the minute you left
Mm-hmm.
Liberty?
I did, and I think my dad can attest also that kind of from the moment we stepped on campus to when we sat in that meeting with the coach to when we were on our flight home, there was just this feeling and like this spark inside of me and inside of him too. I think that he could also sense in me of just feeling like it was the right place. Like I could see myself there, and for the first time, me going to college and playing somewhere felt very tangible. Like I could picture myself there and envision myself competing and playing while also getting a degree, while also being in a culture that I felt was a good fit and building friends for life. So,
And another question, and this is going to be for both of you. First for you, Lily, did you get homesick?
yes. And I was okay with going far away, so I didn't really anticipate how much homesickness I would maybe deal with. Honestly, when I first stepped foot on campus, there were so many new things going on, so much fun, so many things to do. We were super busy with classes and even summer intensives and practices and workouts that I didn't really think twice about home for kind of a period of time. And then honestly, like each semester, each year, as I've gotten older, and you would think I would get more used to being away, I feel like I got more homesick. And I think it just goes to show that those 4 years of your life aren't meant to be forever. And I feel like as my time came to a conclusion at Liberty, I started to really feel this just yearning to be home with my family, with my fiance, who I'm marrying in June. And so I definitely dealt with some homesickness and am happy to be home, but also thankful for the experience and the growth and independence that comes with going to school far away.
Yeah, and for you, Josh, how do you deal with the young ladies that get homesick? Because it happens. I mean, you can't. Your campus is not quite as big as Liberty,
No.
but you do have to deal with the different types of a mental stability in women at that age because they're growing.
Well, I think with anybody, I think not just women, I think with any player or any person. I mean, I'm 5.5 hours away from home, for me personally too. So
yeah.
I think you have to balance out, understanding, hey, when you need to go see family, when you need to take a day off, and you need to really focus in on your mental health and your whether it be from homesickness, whether it be from too much classes, you really just have to make sure you are the ones, you're taking care of yourself, because at the end of the day, if you don't take care of your family, which, your volleyball program becomes your family when you're away from home, you have to, if you're not going to take care of that, who is?
Yeah.
And so you have to take care of yourselves. I know we do, we do mental health days, and it's a day that if you need a day, you get it, no questions asked. And it's something that I've really, over the last 2 years, especially since COVID, but the last 2 seasons as being a head coach, is just figuring out, hey, well, if people need a break, they need a break, and if they're not going to be good, they're not going to be good in practice. It's not going to be good for them. It's not going to be good for everybody else. It's not going to be good for me because I'm going to get mad at them.
Exactly.
So it just, if they need a day, they get the day and they go, and they really go into themselves and work on that. And I know. Our schedule's broken up enough. They get about a month and a half at Christmas, so I think that really helps. We go from Thanksgiving to Christmas, so I think that whole break of being home that entire time really helps. Our kids kind of break up the monotony of a normal school. We do go a little bit later in the summer, which kind of sucks, but just kind of the way our academic schedule works, it makes it a little bit easier. But we do a lot of FaceTiming. I know you guys probably did that over the last couple of years too.
Yes.
I know how close your family is.
Yeah.
So.
No, a lot of FaceTimes is helpful.
Well, it looks like our time is done talking. It's time to get back to Kelsey over here, as she's got Olivia Cron. She was a libero from Homestead High School. She's going to go play at that Huntington college, too, with Lily over here. And she's going to study business. She's not going to be too far away from, actually, a very short drive from where she's at, out there on the south side of town. So this is Olivia Cron, and it's off to you, Kelsey.
Awesome. Thank you. I love seeing all the green and black balloons here tonight, representing the Foresters well. And Olivia's another one who not only did I have the...
I think we lost Kelsey again.
Let's see. Is
Kelsey back?
Can you guys hear me now? I am
go.
so sorry for my technical difficulties. But I was going to say, Olivia, not only do I have the opportunity to coach you at the college level, but I coached you when you were just a little 13-year-old here. So, again, just feels so surreal that we're having your senior signing tonight when I can still remember you as a little girl playing the game that you love. So what is going through your...
Oh, that microphone is not being kind right now.
It's not wanting to cooperate at all.
I'm so sorry, you guys. It keeps turning off on me.
There you go.
But tell me a little bit about what's going through your heart and mind tonight, knowing that you are headed off to college.
Yeah, I'm super, super excited. I feel like I've put in a lot of hard work to get to where I'm at, and just like everyone here at this club has just been so supportive and really helped me through this, and I'm just super excited.
I think you're back.
I agree.
I'm back again. It's just a little game we're playing, okay? You never know when you're going to hear my voice and when you're not. But, Olivia, we would also love to know, as you look back on your experience at Empowered, what has been your favorite memory at Empowered, if you could only choose one?
If I only had to choose one, I would say definitely just all the team. And just getting to spend time with them and getting to know them more, it just feels like I've really grown like a second family. It's just super awesome.
I love that about Empowered, that they have that emphasis on family. And so I'm thankful that that's something you've experienced. If you were to give that some advice to younger athletes who... If you were to give advice to younger athletes who want to play at the next level, what advice would you give them?
It can be hard sometimes to not get frustrated with yourself, and like it's easy to like tear yourself down mentally, but throughout all the challenges, you just need to like understand that although it's hard, it's just only making you better.
Well, Josh, there. She's back.
And I'm back again. Okay, I told you. It was just a game of being in and out here. I think we're going to work on maybe getting something else for us to use. But, Liv, it has been an honor to coach you. It's an honor to get to coach you at the next level, and we just wish you the best and hope you enjoy being celebrated tonight. Thanks for your time. Back to you guys.
I wish you had a mute button growing up.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. 1 year for that college. That's all they can take with the three of them there.
Did you notice that she waited for Kelsey to not have a microphone in her hand for her to say that?
Yep.
You don't catch her without one very often.
No.
That is correct. So that was Olivia Cron. She is going to be a libero at Huntington University. She'll play for Kelsey over there. Olivia is another defensive player that was in this area this year. I mean, we could just list them off from Concordia to Belmont to Angola, all the great players now in this area that play defense. And Olivia, a couple times when I covered their games, I thought she was going to run into the front row and crash. And she threw her body all over the place, so much like Chloe. Mm-hmm. I mean, they're very close, similar players. And she's an outstanding defensive player, and she's going to be a good one there. You
Yes.
You may not have to be the libero.
I know, for once.
You may not have to be the libero there. So we're going to move on to our next young lady, and I believe this is Braelyn Stockman. She's a middle hitter from Homestead as well. She's going to go to Ohio Christian University. She's in her 5th year here with Empowered, and she's going to study early education.
Yes.
Something you got a lot of practice on right now, Kelsey, having a young child.
Yes, absolutely. Speaking of that, don't ask me what the stain is on my shirt, okay? Nobody needs to know what the new stain is on this mama's shirt. But, Braelyn, we are so excited for you tonight and getting to celebrate you. What led you to choose where you were going to go to school next year? What drew you in?
I have always wanted to go to a smaller school and definitely like being centered like around God, and it's just what I've always wanted to do, to go to a smaller school.
Well, I'm so glad that you found exactly what you were looking for. What would you say you're most excited about in your future athletic career at the college level?
Well, they have a great program starting, so I'm just excited to be a part of that and like all the friendships and things that they have going on there.
I think that's something Empowered does really well, is emphasize relationship. And so that's neat that that's what you're looking for at the next level too. There's a lot of younger girls out there who probably look at you and think, man, I want to be like Braelyn. I want to be a college athlete. What advice would you give them?
I just would say to like push yourself to be the better version of yourself, and to look past like what's going on right now, and to just like always focus on the future and what the better version of yourself could be.
Wow, that's really good advice, to focus on not just bettering yourself as an athlete, but a person, because that definitely makes an impact on the floor too. Well, we are so excited for you moving forward, and we'll continue to be in your corner and hope you enjoyed being celebrated tonight. Thanks for your time. Of course. I'm going to say back to you guys, except for first, I would like to say that Lily waited to insult me until my mic was out of my hand, and I just think that is not allowed.
We already mentioned that. I said we don't catch you without a mic very often.
Okay, she
I
might
had
be
to
right.
seize the moment.
She took advantage of it.
She sure did. So are we ready for the next one? That was Braelyn Stockman
we sure are.
From Homestead going to Ohio Christian, and we're going to move right along here. I got to see their shirts. That's how I usually know who's what college they're going to. Is easy for me to figure out where they're at. And this is Miss Duncan. She's from Prairie Heights. She's going to go play at Manchester, so she's not going to go too far away from home. And she's in her second year with this club. And she also is going to study elementary education.
Wow. So you're our second one in a row who wants to pursue elementary education as a major. So tell us a little bit about what led you to decide that that's what you wanted to do.
So at my school, we have a program that it started out as like cadet teaching. So like you could take a position take a period and then go over to our elementary, and then I'm in a classroom all day. So that's where I kind of fell in love with like teaching everything. So this year we also have a program that is education professions. So I'm getting college credits already towards my major, and I'm in a classroom 2 periods a day. And so like I'm able to be interactive with my fourth graders, and I absolutely love it.
That's awesome that you've already gotten that much experience, and that way you can confidently say that that's what you want to pursue as a career. I'm sure working with fourth graders, you have constant entertainment and plenty of stories that you come home with each day.
Yes, each one of them are special, and I'm definitely going to be crying on the last day of school. So they each are going to hold a special place because they are technically my first class. So.
Well, that is so sweet that they do have that special place in your heart. I think it shows that you care so much about them, which I think is really important with the profession you're going into. And I'm sure that they will miss you as well. I'm sure that they will be crying their tears too. Well, tell me a little bit about what led you to decide to go play at the next level at Manchester. What drew you in?
One thing that led with Manchester is that Yvonne was especially very persistent. I went to several of his camps. At first I was like, no, I don't know if I was going to want to play. And then going to the camps and seeing the next level definitely changed my mind. And then coming here to Empowered definitely helped me, and it pushed me more. And it increased my skill sets to be able to reach that.
Wow, that is really neat. If you were to only choose one favorite Empowered memory, what would you choose? I'm sure there's plenty.
I don't know. Probably I would have to say Emmy Hughes last year with my 17-18 teams. First off, it was like my first year here, and all the girls just accepted me, and it made me feel like this was like the club I wanted to be at. So, and then I also get to play with a couple of the girls that I was on the team with last year, this next year, going to Manchester. So it's definitely been a big impact.
That's really neat that you get to play with some of those girls moving forward, and I'm so thankful you've gotten to experience building those relationships here at Empowered, and how neat that they get to continue at the next level. Well, we are so excited for you. We're proud of you. We will be in your corner moving forward and just wish you all the best. Yes, thank you so much for your time, and back to you guys.
That's Cheyenne Duncan. She'll play at Manchester next year. She's from Prairie Heights, a middle middle attacker in there, and her second year. Did you get to coach her, Josh?
I did not. I was in the gym with her a lot, though, with her team last year, just kind of helping out and doing some extra things with that team. She's a real hard worker. I mean, just a pleasure to be in there. She plays softball, so she's a multi-sport athlete as well. So she was kind of late to coming over full-time to volleyball. So she really, her mind just exploded this last year with all these, learning the game and having the really high volleyball IQ. So it was really nice to see her grow this past year with all of that.
Excellent. And we've got our next young lady over there, and she's going to go to one of the campuses that's one of the most beautiful campuses in the country at Appalachian State next year. That's Tess Herendeen. She's an outside hitter from Homestead. She's in her 5th year here with Empowered, and she's going to, study one of them slacker classes, biochemistry, at the next level. And I know it says outside hitter, but she's another one of the young ladies, much like Kaylee Matney, that could stay on the court for the entire match. She's a fierce competitor, obviously, and I've enjoyed watching her over the last 4 years at Homestead. Mm-hmm. So over to you, Kelsey.
Thank you. They were just talking about how Appalachian State is one of the most beautiful campuses. So I bet you're going to enjoy having the scenic view every day that you're walking to your classes. Other than the beautiful campus, what drew you into attending Appalachian State?
So right now, the coaching staff that recruited me, actually, they're all gone. So I would say that I really liked the coaches that recruited me. They were awesome. But now we've gotten a whole set of new coaches and facilities and athletic trainers, and I absolutely adore all of them. They're so personable and just really welcoming. So even though I didn't commit to them, I would say they're probably the biggest thing that I'm excited for. And the girls that I got to stay with when I did my visit, they were beyond welcoming and just made me feel really at home.
That is, I'm sure it was hard to have the coaches who recruited you no longer be there, but how neat that the people coming in that you have fallen in love with and have appreciated those connections. And I think people make all the difference in an experience. And so I'm thankful that you'll be in a place where you'll truly feel cared for and known. As you look back on your years here at Empowered, I'm sure it's hard to pick just one favorite memory, but if you had to, which one would you say is your favorite?
This year we ended up going to Phoenix for nationals, and so after our 3rd day of playing, me and some of the team, not the whole team, but some of us went to go to, I don't remember the mountain name, but we went to the mountain and hiked and took pictures with my mom, and that was so much fun being out in the just open air after playing all day in the closed convention center. It was really fun.
Oh, that sounds so beautiful and like it was a blast. And I know your mom has taken many pictures of you over the years playing volleyball, and so I'm thankful that you'll have those precious memories. If you were to give advice to younger athletes who want to play at the next level, what would be your advice to them?
I would say never make decisions too early. And allow adversity to kind of shape you into the person that God wants you to, or has planned for you to become. And don't try and take that responsibility onto yourself, but really just let hard times shape you into the person that you are supposed to be.
Wow. Thank you so much for that, Tess. That's very powerful. And we are so excited for you and wish you the best moving forward, and hope you enjoyed your senior signing tonight here at Empowered.
Thank you so much.
Of course. Thanks for your time. Back to you guys.
That was Tess Herendeen from Homestead High School. She's going to Appalachian State. She will study biochemistry. And Lily, it says outside hitter, but Tess can play pretty much anywhere on the court at any time. She's an outstanding defensive player as well. So, and doing both in college can be difficult.
Yes, and I had the privilege to watch Tess compete some because she was on Hayley's club team. So I definitely saw how she is just very capable of many skill sets, and that's going to take her far, especially in her collegiate career, to not just be one-dimensional but to be multifaceted.
Yeah, and I watched, like I said, 4 years of her over there at Homestead. She definitely improved every year, and you could see her competitiveness. Her and Olivia, they would go after every ball that was out there on the court. So congratulations to her, and we are ready for our next young lady, and it's another one of those Foresters.
I'm loving this. I love that I have so many Foresters sitting next to me tonight.
And I believe this is Leah
Yes,
Carter.
It's Leah Carter, yes.
And she has the longest drive of any young lady here at Empowered from Northwestern, about a 2-hour drive. She's going to study in nursing, and this was her first year with Empowered.
Absolutely. So your first year with Empowered, you spent 2 hours every day driving here, not to mention the 2 hours back. So my first question is, what did you do with your drive time? How did you pass the time every time that you were making the trip here?
Sometimes I drove myself, so I would just listen to music and just think about things. And then my parents and grandparents would drive me a couple days a week, so I got to do homework and stuff, so I wouldn't get behind on school or anything. So I definitely kept busy during my drives.
Well, it sounds like that, and I think it shows your level of commitment that you're willing to travel that far for all of your practices. Now, I know you've only been here at Empowered for 1 year, but what would you say was your favorite memory from this past season?
My favorite memory would probably be meeting all the girls and just all the new friendships I've made, and it's just been so fun getting to know them and bond with them over this season.
Well, very good. Now, if you were to give advice to younger girls who say, man, I want to be like Leah, I want to play at the next level, what advice would you give them?
I would say just work hard every day. Like, you never know which coaches could be watching you, so just work hard and never give up, and then you'll get where you want to be.
Absolutely. Well, I can say that I'm extra excited for you playing at the next level. You know, it's been such an honor to get to know you and just have the opportunity to coach you at the next level. I am eager for all of the memories that we're about to make in these next 4 years. And you're somebody who works extremely hard. You're coachable. You connect with your teammates. And so I'm just thrilled that you're going to enhance our culture the way that you are. And so we wish you the best moving forward and hope you enjoyed being celebrated tonight. Of course. Thanks, Leah. Back to you guys.
That was Leah Carter from Northwestern. She's a middle hitter. She'll attend Huntington next year and study nursing once again. And I have to say, Josh, when you make a 2-hour trip, you're pretty committed to your passion, to what you want to do. And also, you take yourself out of your comfort zone. I'm sure she's played in other clubs before and decided to come here to be a part of this organization. And when you get out of your comfort zone, you really figure out who you are. And first you, Josh, and then you, Lily, on that question.
Yeah, I think somebody who drives. I mean, I drive about hour and 20 minutes, so not nearly as long as she does. But I drive an hour and 20 minutes one way just to come to practice here, and you really through that time you use it to really, whether it's listening to music and kind of thinking about life or just thinking about the practice ahead or the practice you just had. How can you make it better? You really get into that mental side of things, and it really. I think sets in, at the end of the day when you get home, it's like, okay, hey, why am I doing this? Well, I'm doing it because I love it, and I'm doing it because I want to be better at it, and I want to continue to either, in my instance, to help, grow athletes and help those, the athletes that we're here to coach and help them get better. And, in Leah's case, I'm sure it's, hey, I want to be better. I want to go, be able to play at the next level.
Mm-hmm. And I just wanted to add that I think college pushes you a lot and challenges you in a lot of different ways. And her having overcome that challenge in her life of having those days where maybe she didn't want to make that drive, or maybe it took her a little extra effort to get here for practice compared to what all the other girls were doing, but she was willing to go that extra mile and overcome that in her life, which I think will really transfer over into how she's able to overcome challenges at college and all the new things that are about to come her way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And we are ready now for Savannah Reed. Finally.
This one might be my favorite.
Finally, this might be
this one might be my favorite.
We're interested in. She's a setter from Columbia City. She's going to go play for you next year, University of Northwest Ohio. She's in her second year here with Empowered. Business administration is what she's going to study. And I have to say, her favorite memory may go down as one of the best ones I've ever heard on here, and she's all yours, Kelsey.
Well, it got me laughing. That's the first thing I said to her. I said, I loved your favorite memory. Did Yvonne really tell you were horrible? And the story checks out. It really did happen. But like you said, karma, that then you're playing for him in your last year, and you get to prove to him that you are not terrible. In fact, you're going on to play at the next level. So tell me a little bit about your recruiting journey and what led you to say, I'm going to go play at the next level at Uno for our friend Josh Kreiner.
Really, I just didn't know what my recruiting journey was going to be. Like, I'd been switching clubs probably since I started playing club, and so my recruiting process was just iffy and just all over the place. And one day I got a text from Ashley saying that Josh was interested, and then I was on a phone call with him, and the next thing I know, I had a visit, and then I committed. So it really just happened all in a line.
it's amazing how sometimes the recruiting process can all happen like one whirlwind, and you're like, oh my goodness, how did we even get here? But I'm so glad that, you've made the decision that you have. You're obviously going to be going and playing for a fantastic coach, and we're really excited for you to play at the next level. Tell me a little bit about your experience at Empowered. I know you said you've been at several clubs, but what do you feel like stands out about Empowered as a club, maybe compared to the other places that you've played?
Honestly, it's kind of just the people and the coaches that we have here. A lot of the coaches at the other places that I played aren't necessarily at what I would say like high level. Like we have a lot of people that have played professional or like college coaches here that coach, and I just think that and knowing that they have like that good resume, if you want to call it that, it's just really like you really want to take what they have to say like to heart and put it into practice.
There's no doubt that Empowered has some fantastic coaches on their staff, and I'm thankful you've gotten to experience that. What would you say you're most excited about when you think about going to college and playing at the next level?
I'm just excited to see like what we can do really. Coming from Columbia City, like there's only so much you could do, and it was just fun to see like how far we could go and pretty much how many upsets we could make. And so it's playing honestly is what I'm most excited for, and to see what all we can do together.
Awesome. Well, we wish you the absolute best moving forward, and hope you enjoyed being celebrated at your senior signing tonight, and just know that we're always in your corner moving forward.
As a bonus question, can you ask her where her leggings are from?
Oh, boy.
This just
Here we
in,
go.
your bonus question is, where are these leggings from? Because they are super cute. I was actually thinking the same thing.
Josh wanted to know.
No.
It's Josh that wants a pair.
Yeah, exactly.
My leggings are from Lululemon.
Okay.
Of course they are. Of course.
Those are
Well, they're very cute.
team leggings next year. That's what they are.
Yeah, Josh says they can be team leggings next year.
Oh, no, should I go there then?
He needs to get a different pair so then I can have a different pair.
You got to change it up. She's trying to build up her wardrobe.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
Josh,
Maybe
get her some good gear. She deserves it. Thanks for your time, Savannah.
Savannah Reed, setter from Columbia City, going to University of Northwest Ohio next year to play for Josh here next to us. And Josh, you're getting a good one. And I don't know if you know a lot about Columbia City, but they have extremely athletic girls right now running through that town. Their basketball program, outstanding. I got to watch them this summer. But, she's part of that group up there that's a really good athletic group right now in Columbia City.
Yeah, I know. From being able, I got to go out for her signing at her high school, and it was all. I think there was only normally when you go to a school signing, it's like 3 or 4 boys and 1 or 2 girls, and it was I think 7 or 8 girls, and there was only one guy that was doing their signing that day, and just the level of athleticism in the entire school. I mean, if through I kind of got to see a list of all the athletes that have been committed over the last couple of years. They're out there. They're really. Really training them up well, and they're really working hard to go to, a bunch of schools in the area. But then also, you have to give some of the kids that are going, 4 or 5 hours away and away from just kind of this greater Fort Wayne area. But, that was one of the biggest things what we were interested in Savannah is she's a super athletic setter. She definitely has the size to go up and make plays at the net. And, we're really excited to have her leadership. I mean, she graduated with, I think the digs, aces, and assists record at her high school. I might be missing one in there. And she, was from a very early age as a freshman was expected to, hey, lead this program. You're the setter. Figure it out. And that's kind of what we're going to go through. This next couple of years with her is just, hey, here's the offense. Let's run it. Let's see what we can do, and let's go from there. So. Really excited to have her in the maroon and black, and up over in Lima, and. Lily, you'll have to deal with her and being deceptive all over the place and setting some of our hitters up next year.
Sounds good, as long as she has to deal with me in return.
Well, I think it's our final young lady, is it not?
This is our grand finale.
Okay, so last but not least.
Best for last.
Yep,
Yes.
The best for last is going to be a Northrop grad. This is Quinn Odin. She's a middle blocker. She's going to go to Lourdes. She's in her 5th year here. She's also going to go into nursing. And I haven't mentioned this all night, but this is another one of these young ladies that was an academic all-state performer.
And that is huge when you're somebody who can not only perform on the court, but you can also perform in the classroom. I think that's something that coaches see as a valuable asset when they're recruiting. And so props to you for being both a great student and a great athlete. I had the privilege and honor of coaching you last year, and just have loved watching you grow as a player and a person. What would you say as you look to these next 4 years? Quinn, what would you say you're most excited for?
I'm most excited to meet new people and a new environment, and I'm not too far away from home. I'm only 2 hours, so it's I get to see what a different area is like, a different state even, without having to go across the country away from my family, because I'm gonna miss them. But I am really excited to be on my own, be an adult, I guess, if you will.
Absolutely. Now, I've been asking girls tonight about their favorite memory at Empowered, and I know that it's sometimes hard to choose just one, but if you could, what would you say has been your favorite memory in your experience here?
I would just honestly say, it's not because you're sitting next to me, but say that our season last year and the team that we had, it was I love my team this year as well, but last year I feel like we were just all super close, and the season ending was so sad, and I feel like I just missed that bond that we had. And no matter what happened, it was just, we were all there for each other, and it was a really close team, and I like that because that's kind of how Empowered is a family. Yeah.
Well, I can also attest to that it was a very sad ending to a season, just because we had built those relationships, and so it was hard to think, man, we're not going to see each other as often, as we did with being on a team together. But that really is precious to me to hear, that was such a positive memory for you, because it was for me too. What advice would you give to younger girls who say, man, I want to be like Quinn, I want to go play volleyball in college? What advice would you give to them?
I would say to just stick with it, because if you know yet that's something you want to do, there's plenty of resources out there to get you to be able to play at the next level, and just training opportunities, and you can improve yourself, and just to stick with it, honestly.
I think that's great advice, and you have certainly done that. You've been such a hard worker, and now you're getting to reap the benefit of playing college volleyball, and that's a lot of people's dream, and not everybody gets to experience that. But we're thrilled for you moving forward and wish you the absolute best.
Hey, Kelsey,
Of
can you
course.
ask her what she's going to miss most about Empowered?
I am supposed to ask you, this is the bonus question. I'm supposed to ask you, what are you going to miss the most about Empowered? And something tells me that there maybe is supposed to be a correct answer to this that you're supposed to say. Hint, hint.
Yeah, I think the answer he's looking for is him. Because me and Josh are like this. So I will miss all the coaches. I feel like I have really good bonds with them. And even if how you weren't my coach this year, and I've actually never had Josh as my coach, but we've just been super close and just making bonds with not only my teammates, but the coaches as well.
And I think that's such a testament to the coaches here at Empowered that, you have that great relationship with Josh, and he never was even your coach here. So I think it just goes to show that coaches are truly trying to invest in all of the athletes, not even just the athletes on their team, which I think is special and makes Empowered unique. So thanks for sharing that. And like I said, we are in your corner, girl, the whole way through. So this will always be family to you, and we are just thrilled for you moving forward.
That's probably why she likes me, though, is because she didn't have me as a coach.
Yeah, maybe. Josh says maybe that's why you liked him, because you didn't have him as a coach. It could be it, Josh, but you said it, not me.
Well, that was Quinn Odin, our final young lady here this evening. She'll head off to Lourdes next year and study nursing. We also want to congratulate some of the young ladies that did not get a chance to get up here tonight. Nisha Anderson from Snyder High School. She was a middle blocker, but she is a shot putter on their track team, and she's amazing. And she's going to go to Indiana State and do track next year, and she will study criminal justice.
I think we were talking about it earlier. I'm not 100% sure. I think she's the state record holder for the shot put, right?
I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
And, my kids always talked about, well, I have one that would have gone 1 year of school with her and talked about her as a freshman being able to do so well in track. And she's an amazing athlete as well. To do both. Shot put is kind of a stationary position, whereas volleyball is very mobile, and she can do both. So that just tells you what kind of athlete that young lady is. Let's see, who else did we have that didn't get a chance to get up here? Kiana Gomez from Snyder also. She'll go play at the University of St. Francis here in Fort Wayne, a 4-year player here at Empowered, and she will study business, and she will go play for Coach Haddock next year there. And Kelsey, you'll get to play against her.
I know. I'm so excited for these girls as they're moving forward to play at the next level, but I will say my heart sinks a little bit when I know that some of them are going to be on the other side of the net. But hey, it's all a part of the competition, right?
Yep, absolutely. And also Leslie Vasquez, a middle hitter from Wawasee. I don't believe we got her up here today. She will attend IUPUI. Were either one of you guys her coach?
No. She was.
Not me either.
She played for our 17-18 Onyx team last year, and then was on 17-18 Black with a couple of these kids that we just talked to. And she's fantastic middle. She's going to go do some good things at IUPUI.
Yeah, we would play against her in practice, and she is definitely a standout on her teams. I think she is extremely coachable. She's athletic. She jumps out of the gym, and so we're really excited for her too.
And then I saved the best name for last. Dylan?
That's Kanichny.
Kanichi. She's an outside hitter from also Wawasee. She is a dual sport athlete as well. She will go to Purdue Fort Wayne. She will run track, and she will study biology. So
she's a goofy kid. She's a lot of fun to coach. She's one of those kids that I know we talked about some people dancing and stuff, but she's one of the ones like mid play. She's standing there at the net to block and is kind of making dance moves and just is one of those kids that's just a joy to have around and is works her butt off. Has really come into her own the last 2 years of playing here for us and making moves and really learning the game. I think that's a big thing. You can learn how to do the game, but it's to learn the game itself, and that's something that I try to teach. I know Kelsey teaches it a lot in her gym, and we do a lot of that here at Empowered as well.
So, yeah, it's been another great night here at Empowered, our second year here doing this. I believe we had 21 young ladies last year. We were at 25, so that's 46 over 2 years, and the program is continuing to grow here at Empowered. You all went through this, and I get the pleasure of every week going out and calling their volleyball matches. So that's quite a bit of an honor, and now doing college volleyball, and you see these young ladies today where they're going to be in the next 3 or 4 years, playing for you, playing against you, and with you, Kelsey, because aren't they all tonight going to Huntington College?
Except the one. She can't. She's not going to steal Savannah from me.
Yeah,
so,
we let Josh have one.
So final thoughts, Kelsey, on anything tonight, anything you want to say, and then I'll let your sister and then Josh, and then we'll get out of here.
Sure, I appreciate that. Well, I will just say that tonight was a surreal experience for me. There's several of these girls that I've coached throughout their time at Empowered. So just to see them sitting next to me, knowing that they're going on to play at the next level, it makes me so proud as a coach. And I would just say that even more so than the gratitude I have for having the opportunity to coach them is my gratitude for getting to know their hearts along the way and getting to know them as people. And as each girl would sit next to me, I just would think, wow, she's a great volleyball player, but she's an even better person. And again, I just think that's such a testament to Empowered, that they have this holistic approach. They're not just growing athletes, they're growing people. And I think each of these programs that are going to have the opportunity to have these girls be a part of it are just so blessed with the people that they're getting and how they're going to impact their programs. So I'm excited to see all that they accomplish at the next level.
Absolutely, and I know I got here late, but just to build off of that as my own closing remarks, I feel like the thing that stood out to me most from every single one of these interviews was the players, not necessarily their skill set or their accolades, which were all very glowing, but the heart they had and also just the spiritual and emotional intelligence and maturity that they brought to the table. I think we've touched on it, but there's a lot of mental health awareness going on, especially for collegiate athletes lately, and I just think some of those struggles and challenges that athletes face kind of off the court are starting to come to light. And so I think these girls have just been very well equipped and also taken it upon themselves to grow as people and equip themselves to have that mental toughness and just a desire to grow and be better and be the best version of themselves, and also to cater to that emotional side and cater to their wellness and well-being so that they're able to, overcome any challenge that comes their way in the next 4 years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, this is a very special class for me. I didn't get to get them when they were 11 and 12 like Kelsey did, but, my first year here, kind of moving away from what I had known. I'd worked for a club before coming here who was, where I played. It was where I played. It was where I grew up. It was, kind of the gym that I did, so I felt comfortable. And then I moved out here and worked with Kelsey at Huntington, and then then that winter got to coach, this group, most of these kids at their 15th year. And so kind of that learning process of learning what Empowered is all about, but then also helping these kids become, I'm very proud of them. And this group will have a very special place in my heart because, they've been here just as long as I have been. So it's kind of one of those things where it's bittersweet. You're really, really proud of them. You're really, really happy for them. But then at the end of the day, you're sad that they're leaving. But we wish them nothing but the best, and they want to go do bigger and better things. And they'll always have a home here. I think that's the biggest thing about Empowered, and it's the biggest thing about our group of coaches and group of athletes, that everybody knows that this is you've got a home here if you want one.
Yeah, absolutely. I noticed that last year. A lot of young ladies came back. Brooke Smith was here for signing day, so it is a big family here at Empowered. And this is our second year doing this. Another great showing here this evening. I want to thank Jeff Mahoney for producing all this today, and for both of you two joining in here, and Kelsey over there. I also want to wish good luck to Kelsey's program next year at Huntington. Hopefully I get a chance to see you play for the first time, and I know I'll get to see you play because I'm an announcer in your conference. Yep. So I will get a chance to see both of you guys hopefully in action next year. And I also want to wish Mitch Cruz a good luck, and maybe he should get some ibuprofen now that he's going to have 3 girls in the same program at the same college and have to hear it all night long. So
absolutely.
Yep. So Jeff, I think we're done here, correct? Yeah, Jeff Mahoney says wrap this thing up and we'll get out of here. I want to wish everybody a good night here from Summit City Sports here at Empowered. Don't forget, early September we'll kick off our volleyball coverage from Northeast Indiana, and we will have a lot of volleyball for you once again, and join us with our college volleyball as well on Summit City Sports. So that does it here from Empowered. Everybody have a great night.